What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day today. I'm excited to come in and do some energetic weather with you and check it out. Is my cat with the emotional wave whiskers. I got my mug today. It has red Gatorade inside. No truth in the meow. A lot of today is about this, so this is a good concept to bring in up front, my lips. Um, and we're gonna get mental today. The energy is so mental. The sun and earth are both in mental pressure gates. So already today, I've talked to a couple people that are just in their head. And I'm going to give you guys some things that you can do to stay out of your head and maybe even better ways of understanding what this energy is for. Because when we can understand what it's for, we don't have to use it to destroy ourselves and the people that we love. And so these mental energies, what they're really about is our process to maintain a safe collective future. And it's funny, it's like there's only three mental pressures, and here's two of them, the two outside pressures. And both of them happen at the same time. And it's really about that. It's really about us looking at what's going on here so that we can make sure that it's working and we can keep going into the future. And so I think it's so funny, the names of these gates, before completion and after completion, but really they're happening at the same time. And we're looking out in the world and we are using our minds to recognize what's happening so that we can correct our processes. And so the gate in the sun is called confusion, 64.1 today. So this is the foundation of mental activity. And this is the pressure of a busy mind with like lots of data, like all these mental images coming and they're from your past. And maybe it's like mixed up memories. It's just these short sequences that are out of order. Like maybe it doesn't make that much sense. And it can be a busy, uncomfortable mind, especially if you're making the confusion about yourself and you think that you need to resolve it in order to do something in your life. It's not personal. It's about us looking out there together and being confused together. And that can be okay. Like we are allowed to be confused. If there's no confusion, there's never a time where we're like, wait, like, does this make sense? Like, should we keep doing this? Is this working for us? Like, it can be a very valuable energy. And so we filter this pressure. The pressure comes in and we filter it. And in this case, it is basically the past. That's what we're filtering. We are reflecting on the past, and that is us filtering this pressure through our mind. And to make sense out of things is a process. It's like it takes determination to sit there and let these memories come and show you what they're there to show you. It's like we have such a hard time with just watching what comes up and just letting it be there. Oh, memory in and out. Oh, memory in and out. It's like if we can just allow it, then we can be like, oh, that's about what's happening now. Now it makes sense. It's like if we can allow the pressure to flow through, it can make sense and it can help us in our life. But if we're like resisting it or distorting it inside of ourselves, it can really, it can even build into like physical problems like migraines and headaches and things like this. And so the pressure forces us to mentally make sense of our past. That's what takes determination so that we can project into the future for all of us in order to continue safely for all of us. And what you can know about your mind is that it is made to compare, measure, label. So it can compare things, it can measure things, and it can label things. Like it's so mystical in the Bible how Adam is put in the Garden of Eden and God's job is like, okay, put the names on the things. Like putting the names on the things is a mystical thing. And these three things are the only things our minds are made to do. They're not made to make our decisions or to know where we should go or what's next for us or what's best for us or what's best for our child, right? Our minds are here to watch the action so we can reflect on it versus decide what action we need to do, should do, controlling people with the action, letting your mind control you because it's going a little haywire this week. You can let it just watch life because your mind doesn't know for you. And so the first line, it's called conditions. If you can make sense out of the past, the confusion, the mental blurriness, you can make it through the disorder. And if you can't, maybe you're taking hasty actions from a place of misunderstanding. Listen to understand. Allow what is happening to happen now. It can show you a lot of great things that can help you move into your future instead of you like blaming and shaming it on yourself and seeing yourself as a bad person. It's not personal. It's for all of us so that we can all live great lives, like fulfilling lives that work collectively. And so up next, this is grounded in doubt. And doubt is not about the past, like confusion. Doubt is about the future. So this is the part, right? The confusion is the reflection on the past. The past, we come into this gate, this is projecting into the future. So we're like, okay, if I do this at the assembly line, I'll be able to put out 60 so-and-sos and I'll fulfill my quota. But I have to do it like this. And one day doing it like this, you're not fulfilling your quota, right? It's like, wait a second. Like, is this working here? That's when we can bring in our doubt and suspicion so that we can correct that pattern and meet that quota. So it makes a lot of sense. This one is logical. We have to experiment and do things over and over again and repeat that process to make sure that it actually works in a logical way. Step 1 plus step 2 equals step 3. And so this is the pressure of suspicious patterns or not. If we aren't doubtful and suspicious, the logic won't be challenged and we can't correct the patterns. So this is a valuable energy. It's just not valuable when you're being like doubtful and suspicious about yourself or others. It's like this is about humans working together to doubt and be suspicious about out there so that we can make out there better. But what we've done, and maybe what our media does, like what everything does, is it works together to turn this in on us. And then we doubt ourselves and others, and we never change out there. We're like, oh, like, well, you need to get better for out there, right? And that's not true at all. Then we start hurting ourselves and others. So it's like, it's time to correct this and push that out there and stop doing it to ourselves. And so it's like, wait, like, is this going to work? And then we test, we prove, we disprove. We want the facts here. This is all about logical details. And in 63.1, it's called composure because the foundation of doubt is just to stay composed, right? It's like, this is about pressure that wants an answer. And here's like a good example. This is a collective confusion and doubt process that might be happening for people right now. So kid comes home and he's got 4 hours of homework every night. And mom's like, what? She's reflecting on her past. I never had to deal with this. My oldest kid never had to deal with this. She's seeing her child, have hard nights, not get his homework done, get in the bath late. She's like, something's got to give. Like, this is not going to work. And so it's like that right there, that's her being doubtful and suspicious. Why is it collective? Because she can call and tell the teacher or the principal or whoever, but that doesn't mean that that's going to change today. It might take 7 other moms calling. It might take getting the principal involved, having a meeting or like a committee where we set a rule for all of 4th grade. It's like these collective processes can take forever. They can be super frustrating and people can suffer because of the time that they take. And so what we can do, we can get lost in this goal of trying to get that answer. We can be like calling the school every day, calling the parents, rallying them up. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? We got to solve this doubt. We got to get this answer. And it's like you can turn into the guy with like the red string, like connecting the pins on his bulletin board in his basement. It's like we don't have to let this pressure control us. Okay. You saw the doubt. You don't like this. It's not working. You tell the person that you're supposed to tell. Boom. That is your relief. Okay. You're like, okay, I have fulfilled my part in the process. If I don't see things moving in 3 days, I'll check back in again. And it's like, if you can just let it be that, then you don't have to have all of this lack of relief, like uncomfortability, like in your body, in your mind, like racking your brain, figuring out what you can do. Like don't let your mind move your body. Don't do anything. Do what you can, move the information, and then trust that that collective process will continue. And so we can allow confusion and doubt and suspicion. They're all good if they're used in the right ways. And if you allow them, they will just solve themselves. They will filter in, they'll filter out, you'll move the information, and it won't be controlling your life, giving you anxiety and running you around. And today's a special day because the moon is in 47. So that means that it's forming a channel with the sun. So we have the actual possibility to really make sense today. This is the channel that's connecting to that gate where we're reflecting on the past. And so it's called oppression. Why? Because until you have that breakthrough, that realization, oh my gosh, like you're kind of oppressed. Like people might be oppressed, right? You're like, well, we have to do all this homework. Like you just have to. This is the way that it is. And da 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 da. And then one day you're like, I never did all this homework. wait, like boom. And then you have this realization, this is the ability to begin moving towards that freedom, right? It's like the ability to look outside of what's oppressing us and do something, respond to it, make a change with it, let it be real to you. And so this is the potential to make sense or not, and we can do this all day. This gate receives the memory, it stores it, and then it's the one that is showing it to us in these short, confusing sequences. And then we are the ones that are determined to make sense so that we can move forward. And so this can also be fast in the moment. Let's say that something's happening and you're like, wait a second. And then boom, you have a memory and you're like, oh, now I remember. That makes sense. It's like this can be very useful just in the smallest relating to someone circumstances. And if this is becoming something that's just like, whew, whew, like it's getting really big, identifying what we do this about can be really good. It's like so much of the time when we're reflecting on the past, we're just trying to figure out what went wrong. And what that looks like in the abstract process is we're trying to figure out who to blame. Like, was it his fault? Was it my fault? Is it because of the circumstances at work? Like, where do we put this blame? And it's not about putting the blame down, right? It's just about recognizing like something that may not have worked very well so that you can do it differently moving forward, right? So, like, I encourage everyone to not blame and shame yourselves and others. If you have realized that you're doing something ineffectively or that somebody else is or whatever, work together to love each other and become more effective. Like, it doesn't have to be anything where anybody is a bad guy at all. And so here we are at the no truth in the meow, right? This is why it's so pressury. We can't hardly get our relief. We can't hardly get our answer because this is all about gaining clarity over time. We have to gain our facts and we have to gain our beliefs, and that takes more than just one person. It's a collective experiential thing. And so we can sink in to the now, and we don't have to know the truth right now, right? We can let life show us the truth over time, and we can gain understanding over time. And if we can relax into that, surrender into that, then I think that we can all make it through this week together. And so, outside of this, you can go to planetpeoplehd.com to book a personal session with me. My people are also on there. They've got their services if you want to take a look around. I'm putting these videos on there, so you can always find the energetic weather there. We're coming out with a new show this month. It's going to be called Whose Mind Is It Anyways? So we're going to look at the mind and the nature of it and how it moves in between us all. We've also got our merch. You can find that on there. A lot of human design stuff, and we want to do maybe some like holiday stuff coming up, which I'm really excited about. And at some point this week, our book will be out, the Astrocartography Human Design book. So I'm excited about that too, and I will keep you guys posted. I will be back on Thursday. I hope you guys have a great couple of days. Bye, guys.